Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Matt Latter and today we're going to continue our Pillars of Eternity Let's Play series. So, in the last session we managed to find, more or less by accident, the Temple of Wodica. So, yeah, we're now in the First Fires district, and I'm gonna do what I did with the Copperlane district. I'm gonna fully explore it. Valian Diplomat. Being assigned to the embassy in Defiance Bay is an immense honor. So what's in here exactly? The Crucible Keep. While I'm exploring, I'm probably going to fast mode exclusively. No need to wait around while the people move. There's an old ruined tower here. And someone tells us another ship lost, a Valian merchant vessel. He's talking too fast. Okay, he isn't really interactable with. Let's check that thing. The stones of this ancient tower have been blackened by centuries-old fires. Surrounded by a patch of wildflowers, it looks like a memorial. Guessed as much. Anything up here? Doesn't seem like it. Well, this exploration's gonna go fast, I think.
Politics, infighting, greed, and a shrine to Margaret as well. Her clergy belongs there.
Interesting. There's some refugees and a Justicar talking. What is it? I'm looking for a neighborhood with a tower. It's near a cemetery. Best you stop looking then. The place you want is Heritage Hill. You can see the tower over the district walls out that way. Justicar points to the northwest. But something happened there. They don't let people in anymore, and none of the knights want to be posted anywhere close to it. Steer clear if you know what's good for you. Where are the mad kept in Defiance Bay? Only place around here that takes them in is Brackenbury Sanatorium. I've heard that they can treat your soul there, it takes the madness away. But there's just as many stories come out of the place that'll chill your blood. There's a man, if you want to call him that, Ethelmoar there. He's head warden. If you're visiting or checking yourself in, he's the one to talk to. Okay, so we've progressed the Undying Heritage. The vision we got from the Acolyte. So this is just a second entry to the Ducal Palace. Seems like it. Not much going on here. And here we have the Valian embassy.
All these circling feet heading nowhere.
He's fun at parties, I'm sure. Just another diplomat talking stuff. Let's just go inside and see if something quest-wise can be done inside there. Vincent Agosti. Let's talk to him.
Gods keep you.
What can this humble servant of the Republics do for you? Tell me about the Republics. They are rich in all ways, in wealth, in style, in culture. If you were to go to the Republics, you would not want to leave. Why would you? The people are beautiful and charming. I'm here because the Sangreta Ducala wishes it. But when my appointment is done, I will be on the first ship out, and I will sing from here to Salona. If there's nothing else, I must return to my duties. So what do you do here? As a Valian ambassador, my job is to ensure trade with Durwood remains strong and profitable. Okay. Sounds just about right. Okay, let's go down here. Spread across the table are blueprints of an in-progress trade deal between merchant companies from the Republic and a Durwooden Whirlpool collective. Whirlpool? Haven't heard that one before. The flag depicts the symbol of the Valian Republics, a ship sailing beneath 5 radiant stars. Oh, this isn't considered stealing. Let's quickly take that.
I can do that.
No. We shall not steal from the embassy. Doesn't seem like a smart move to me. So, I may actually go ahead and start up the Let's Lore episodes again. We've gathered a fair bit of new information by now, especially book-wise, and yeah, I'll probably have a fair bit of work in that area. Have to see when I'm able to do that. I want to go to the Crucible Keep. Nothing else here outside of the Ducal Palace is of interest. Let's move quickly, guys. Let's go in. Give a friendly hello to the Crucible Knights. Fellow paladins, though of a different kind. Justicar Aldmar.
Well met, friend.
Aldmar gives you an appraising eye. Judging by the scars on his face, he's lucky to be able to do that much. Every day we get more from the hinterlands pouring into Defiance Bay. Keeps us busy on the watch it does. You look like you've recently arrived yourself. Who are you? A soldier of the Crucible Knights, and proud of it. I help keep everything running at the keep so that Commander Clover can focus on more important matters. Looking for something, or just knocking the dirt off your boots? What goes on in Crucible Keep? This is the headquarters of the Crucible Knights, so it's where we store arms and armor, as well as where many of our soldiers bunk. Commander Clover's in the back, making plans, as usual. He scratches his scarred cheek. You'll find the forge at the west end of the building, along with our master smith Dunstan. There's also a shrine to the golem if you're the praying type. Tell me about the Crucible Knights then. We're the defenders of Defiance Bay. We're not exactly formal knighthood, but don't tell Commander Clover I said that. He grins. We were the first organized militia to oppose Adirian rule, and today we're the largest force in the city. Our soldiers undergo years of combat training, and our officers are required to have their souls read by that critter out in Dunridrow. What a critter. Just a requirement of Crucible Knights, so the higher-ups know there's nothing messy built in your soul's past. Aldmar widens his stance. Keeping the ranks pure is fine by me. I just wish they were more careful in hiring their ciphers. What's wrong with their ciphers then? He shifts his weight and glances at the empty halls. They're mostly Orlans. I'm sure they're talented enough, but you just can't trust them. Hostility is in their nature, and they've learned to hide it over the years. He frowns and crosses his arms. All I'm saying is, they should at least be supervised by other folk. That's reasonable enough, isn't it? If people treated them better, you wouldn't have to worry about them being so hostile. Altmar shrugs. I'm just speaking the truth. Nowadays, it seems that's the biggest crime of all. This is the forge then? Seems like it. Dunstan!
If this is about the breastplates, I already told Cleaver they won't be repaired till next week.
The dwarf bustles between a sweltering forge fire and a work table. He wipes muzzle-knotted arm across his brow. We can have shown the pieces of the blade of the endless path. I found several fragments of an ancient sword. Do you think you could repair it? Dunstan gives a low whistle. That's a fine blade indeed. He holds one fragment in his rough hands. Looks Adirian, special made. Must have been a commission for a champion of some sort. He hands the shrouds back to you. A sword of this caliber would have had a specialty designed hilt too. It would be a shame to graft anything else onto it, and besides, it'll balance best with all the original pieces. You find the rest of it, and I'll forge it for you. Something else on your mind. What are you doing here?
I'm a forge master. I'm a master smith for the Crucible Knights. But the way I see it, I'm also keeping up with our old traditions. The first members of our order were smiths. Nowadays, most everyone's a professional soldier. I suppose it's to be expected, but I think it's important we keep up with our roots, too.
So tell me about the knights.
We were all smiths back in Hodred's day. though I'm about the only one here who still gets his hands dirty. We're a fearsome fighting force, though these days I think Cleaver takes more pride in our parade formations.
He thinks himself a progressive man, but he's obsessed with soul lineages and connections to Deerwood's heroes of old. He picks up his hammer again. Other than Dunrid Rowe, who really knows about any of that, though? Interesting. Tongues of flame lick at the forge, hissing with smoke as hot as dragon's breath. Yeah, they're keeping well at it. Panel. Let's talk that guy. The young novitate's armor is recently shined and his hair is clean and neatly combed. It's hard to believe he's ever seen battle or that the scarred antique breastplate he wears could possibly be his. Are you looking for something? Tell him about the Knights of the Crucible. We're the primary defenders of Defiance Bay. The Order's founders were the first to rally to Deerwood's independence. He waves his hat. Of course, that's ancient history now. Now, we're the most prestigious company of soldiers in Deerwood. It's glorious line of work. He scrunches up his nose. If you can forget about the barracks, that is. Was there anything else? Yeah, we don't care about becoming a knight. We have our own call to follow. Anything of interest in here? Thick grime cakes the bottom of the tub. The towel hanging from the side gives off an awful stench. Yeah, hygiene is not their highest order, huh? More books, apparently. Anonymous affidavit. Let's read about that. It's got added to the stash again. Is it a quest item? Seems so. Curran, cipher duty appointed, employed by Dunrid Rowe, does hereby certify that Novitate A.M. Panelm has found to have a soul free of any subversive influences or tainted essence. The scroll is stamped with the seal of Dunrid Rowe and signed by both Panelm and Curran. They really give a lot of importance to that, huh? Well, it's their beef. We need to deal with Heritage Hill. Justicar's gaze flickers over to you briefly before returning to the Novitates gathered in the training arena. If this is about patrols, my Novitates are already stretched to their limits. Between the refugee influx and the mess at Heritage Hill, I simply don't have any units to spare. Out of pause, she looks over at you again. I'm sorry, was there something else you need? Is something wrong at Heritage Hill? She lowers her voice. What isn't wrong is the real question. A whole district of walking, flesh-eating corpses. We sealed the area 2 months ago, just after I lost one of my finest commanders there, and yet there's a second guard rotation to disappear. There are already enough rumors about the place floating around to keep around the keep without my soldiers whispering about these disappearances. She shakes her head. I'd just as soon abandon the district, but if those monsters should find a way out. I could look into it. She steps back and regards you. After what I've just told you, you want to go to Heritage Hill? I've lost trained soldiers there. Why would you let anyone in? Passionate sounds good. If people are disappearing, someone's got to figure out what's happening to them. Or benevolent. It just seems like you could use the help. If you're so eager to rush to your death, I won't stop you. She quietly looks on at the Novitats. And if you're somehow able to put a stop to this, you've got my permission to enter Heritage Hill. I'll send word to the guards at the gate. So what do you do over here? I'm in charge of the keep's Novitats. I'm responsible for their training and patrol assignments. She nods at the group gathered in the training room. They're good soldiers, and they've been quick to adapt to new challenges. If there's nothing else, I must attend to my duties. Well then, farewell. Let's go in here. That seems like it's a head honcho's place. Let's steal some books first. Shrine of Abaddon. This is a symbol of Abaddon, a colossal smithing hammer imposed over circular gear. It's smooth and bright with buffing oils. Okay, so this is definitely the leader's place.
We just don't have the manpower.
Or what? Let's talk.
Refugees from every corner of the Deerwood. The dozens getting them all riled up about animancy. At this rate, we'll need twice the soldiers to patrol Defiance Bay. Yes? Can I help you with something?
Why don't you have enough soldiers?
Fleetbreaker Castle. The High Justice has summoned almost half of my novitiates and more of my justiciars to a keep on the other side of New Hailmar. It's not for me to question the High Justice's orders, but it's left us short-handed. And mark me, we're just a couple sparks away from anarchy.
Let's be benevolent again. Is there any way I can help? I know to handle myself. He gives you a thin smile. Always refreshing to meet someone who'd rather fix a problem than complain about it. Forge Master Dunstan is working with an animancy scholar to build what we're calling Forge Knights, warriors that can patrol our streets without suffering fatigue, disobedience, or fear. Some agitator throws a rock at him and we don't have to worry about things getting out of hand. He's constructed the armor, but we need the scholar's research. Unfortunately, she hasn't been around the last few times my novitates have checked. Vienna lives and the rest of the Scriveners out in Copper Lane, but I haven't the soldiers to spare at the moment. Go to Scrivener's dormitory and see if you can find her. When you get the research, just bring it to Dunstan. This is his area of expertise anyway. Once you've brought him the research, he can sell you any arms or armor if you have need. He forges and repairs all of our equipment. You won't find a more capable smith in Defiance Bay. Was there something else I can do for you? Nope, sounds good. Let's go do shit. Finally some more tasks to do. And off we go. I also need to remember that I still have an appointment with my, what's it called, steward, I believe, in Cape Nua. There's a letter that arrived for me. Do not forget about that. Sakami leveled. Let's do that really quick. Did I not do that last time? Oh well. So, what can she get? Ooh. 15% damage and damage reduction bypass. More accuracy for the wounding shot. Also interesting. Oh, those companion buffs are pretty nice. Let's go with Vicious first and then later with Merciless. And I believe Adair wants to talk to us.
Yeah.
Indeed, let's do so.
Strange place for a shrine to Abidan, Crucible Keep. Maybe it made more sense at some point before it gathered all that dust. And the only thing the Knights of the Crucible worship these days is the nobility, as far as I understand it.
I knew some soldiers who got recruited by the Knights after the war was over. They told me some about it. They get these young kids in there and they tell them about the blacksmithing, about the revolution and about tradition. Talk about the golem like he created the Crucible Knights in his forge to go win Deerwood's independence. Then they join and it turns out all any of those knights ever talk about is when are we gonna get recognized as a real knighthood? When are we getting our titles and our land? The High Justice wants to be an earl. Says it's Abaddon's will. He's got a castle and an army. You wonder how long he'll wait before he starts a war with it, saying Abaddon told him to. Yeah, it seems like some members do still take their ideals seriously. You see it in the older knights, some of them. They were taught differently. I feel for them, seeing all that slowly wearing away around them, with nothing to be done because the wrong people are in charge. Shame they don't have better people leading them. Maybe we can do something about that. So, we're at First Fires. Let's go to Copper Lane. All 15 minutes travel time. And here we go to Scriveners then. And look for whatever the name was again.
Right.
I've never been to Nasitok. Is it very... What creatures wander the tundra? How are your leaders chosen?
Do you always ask this many questions?
Well, that's just to get us started.
Let me get out some parchment for notes.
Ask whatever you want. If I don't know, I'll make something up.
Oh, I love that banter. Makes the companions much more alive, in my opinion. Okay, so Vienna. We're looking for Vienna. First, we see if we can find her anywhere. Nowhere. So let's talk to some random scrivener. Okay, doesn't work, so let's talk to Corin.
Hail and well met.
Corin sways slightly from side to side. Your skin's still green, but you've lost your ducks. Yeah, right. I'm looking for Vienna. I like Vienna. She's always talking about a metal man, which is strange, since I'm pretty sure she doesn't eat snowcap. His brow wrinkles. I don't talk about metal man either, and I do eat snowcap. Huh. Anyway, she's not here right now. Flew away to Ondra's gift to meet her friend Debasia. No, Glacia. Yes, Glacia. Glacia is the friend she's gone to meet in Ondra's gift. In a house, not a boat. North house, empty house. Ondra's gift has a lot of boats. We should go rowing sometimes. He beams at you and nods his head. Bye. Holy fuck, that dude is really high as a kite. So, let's check the name again. Glacia and Ondra's gift. So, where's Ondra's gift? We're gonna have to find out. Okay, let's go to Brackenbury, and there we go to Ondra's gift. I'm gonna skip the exploration part of this district until another episode. Now I just want to march through. Actually, since it's a straight line, you know, let's do the exploring. This house is Raymond Manor. Alright, we can tell that guy that someone tries to... Mortared stone walls sheltered by the leaves. Knotty green vine climbs all the way up to the open window. Two ornate shutters seem to beckon you in. Nope, we're not gonna go and rob that guy. This here is the charred barrel. Let's quickly enter and see what this is about. Hey look, there's Nonton. And there's a guy complaining about a woman. Bristwin. A young elf is dressed in gaudy robes and that he seems ready to cast off. He picks up a heavily brocaded sleeve and continually adjusts the gold chain around his neck. He looks up at you. Did she send you to run me out of town? You can tell her I'm not going anywhere without the medallion. I told Cyril I wouldn't let her sell it. If that's what you're here about, then save yourself the trouble. He puffs up his chest, glances at the exit. I'm not after you, but maybe I can help. He pulls up a shining button. That's a relief, but I don't see how. Cyril's a courtesan over at the Salty Mast in Ondra's gift. We've been working together for over a year now. I find a noble with more money than sense, fill him up with liquor, and send him her way. They have a good time, and Cyril takes her fee, and a little extra. He rubs his fingers together. 100 coppers here, a trinket here there. It's bounty for us, and the lords and ladies never notice anything missing. That's dishonest. He narrows his eyes. It's surviving. He points a finger, and one ruby ring catches the light. If those nobles have more wealth than they can hang on to, why should they keep it? Anyway, we've always split the bounty until a week ago. He squeezes his lips into a tight frown. She takes a necklace of some noble. It's an Engwithan medallion, damn near priceless. That relic is sacred to my clan, but she won't part with it for any sum I could afford. He tugs at the gold chain around his neck, and even if I wanted to, I can't go home without it. Zagani's brow furrows in pity. That's a hard thing. Tell me more about your situation. He picks at the hem of his sleeve. What do you want to know? Why is this medallion so important to you? I grew up in Air Glenfath with the shattering Spear clan. We Glenfathans have protected Engwithan ruins for thousands of years. It's our one duty to the gods. It's the one duty the gods ask of us in exchange for the freedom to live as we please. He fidgets with an emerald ring on his pinky. But treasure hunters looted the ruins in our territory, and we have left the wilds we'd dwelt in for generations. Most of my clanmates scattered to towns around the Deerwood and probably live on crusts of bread. He looks at his embroidered robes with disgust. Restoring this medallion to the ruins would earn us the gods' forgiveness. The shattered spear could go home. This is all rather fascinating. A single medallion to earn the gods' favor and so return home? It rather reminds me of a story I heard somewhere. Yeah, you've done pretty well for yourself. He clenches his heavily adorned hands. It was this, or scrape by in the gutters like the rest of my clan. But I'd give all that for the medallion. I offer to, but it's worth more than anything I've got, and Cyril knows it. So, you can't just take your money and build up a settlement there again? He sighs, arcing his neatly plucked eyebrows. Of course I could, but that's not the point. A community isn't a place, it's a connection to history and meaning. He makes circles with his wrists, like an anchor. Defending the ruins for the gods gave us purpose. Without that, we would drift. Does this make any sense to you? Yes, it does. He smiles and nods slowly. Then you know what it's like, how to care for something you can't explain. So tell me of Cyril? She's a courtesan at the Salty Mast. Oh no, it's a new one. She's a courtesan at the Salty Mast over Nondra's gift. She wasn't born too much, but she's done what she has in order to escape that. He gazes at a string of amber beads around his wrist. She's a good friend. He folds his arms in his trailing, wrinkled sleeves. Without her, I'd probably be living hand to mouth like the rest of the Shattering Spear. But this isn't about her or me. It's about the 40 people in my clan and the way of life we've held on to for generations. Okay, I'll see about getting the medallion. You'll find her at the Salty Mast. The only way anyone sees her these days is by paying, so I'll have to go through Maya. He fidgets with his sleeve. But, whatever you do, please don't hurt her. Well, I don't intend to. Monton and Ingrid. There they are, let's talk. Banging upon it. Oh, it's you! It's good to see you well. We've had a few rough days here, but then we found this place, and they were kind enough to hire us both. Things have been wonderful. I can't tell you how much we appreciate what you've done. Well, that's something.
Hail, traveler.
The man is dressed in neat but functional clothes. His sun-wrinkled skin and limber musculature reflects a life spent in the wilderness. Well met, what brings you to this charred barrel? Is this your place? It's my retirement, he thumps the bar. Used to be a warehouse back when Brackenbury was more ship traffic, but it fell out of use when the area became mostly residential. I inherited from some great uncle who'd never had any luck pawning it off on my cousins. Now it's the most popular spot in Brackenbury. Nobles come to unwind, and the kids from other districts come to mingle. He leans close. We get a few rough types too, but they behave in here. Besides, they're conscripts than anyone else's. Who are you then? I was a cartographer for the Duke for decades. He rubs his neatly stubbled cheek. Crossed the White March half a dozen times and met most of the ruins of Thane Bog. He grins, flashing golden tooth. A good career, but one suited to younger men. When I came back to Defiance Bay for good, Cliver and a few other friends in the Knights helped me get the rights to refurbish this place. There's strong ale, quality entertainment, and a fresh sea breeze. He raises a mug. What more could a man want? Then show me your menu real quick. Nothing of interest there, okay. Let's check if someone's back here. We can go down and up. Let's go down. I like to explore. Bandits and the bandit leader. Well, that sounds promising. Huh. Maybe we should talk to that guy again. Maybe ask him why he is basically hosting criminals down there. Let's see if we can do that.
Well met.
Apparently not. Yeah, normally the game's good about that kind of stuff. Let's go upside. And maybe we find some other quest task or what have you up here. Merewith and pirates. Merewith watches you through kohl-rimmed eyes. She puts her hand on the hilt of her blade, jangling the jewel that hangs from her wrist. We don't know each other, stranger. Best we keep it that way. What brings you to the chart barrel? Merwith raises an eyebrow. What's it look like? Good wine and a little peace and quiet. She flips a copper coin with a thumb. And Scarian doesn't ask too many questions. Yeah, you don't seem like a Brackenbury local. I'm a sailor. She gives you a half smile. And a liberator of certain goods. Merwith casually fingers a large earring. And the nice thing about the snobs here is that they're usually too polite to ask more. Well, then let's be too polite to ask more. Idioms customs. Yeah, those lore episodes gonna be a page and a half. A lot of reading. Okay, so let's leave here again. And continue our exploration. Down here, just more backer characters. Cheese. Cheese is always good. The marble is cool and perfectly smooth. Droplets of crystal clear water bead the statues. So this is House Domino. Let's see what they have on offer. I think those were the guys I could have used to get that one guy out of the Deerwood. If I have had the connections.
Hello.
The burly guard eyes you warily. I don't recognize you. What business do you have with the House Domino? Tell me about House Domino. It's an old and respected family. Much of Defiance Bay's prosperity is due to Domino's business activities. Now, do you have any further business here? I found a letter that might be of interest. It's... right, AD. Could be something Domino. Yeah, for now I'm fine. Oh wow, he kicks us out. Huh. Well, let's continue exploration. We'll deal with that later. A sanitarium. Oh wow, a lot of animancers.
Hail and well met.
A woman stands in the shade of the garden, muttering to herself. She's fixated on the pages of a large and well-worn tome, seemingly oblivious to the blooming flowers and the cool, fragrant breeze. She only looks up when your shadow crosses her page. Do you mind? I'm rather busy. What are you busy with? She snaps her book shut. I'm studying soul attachment. We all know that souls move into people at birth and out of them at death, but we still have a lot of questions about what makes them stick, so to speak. What do you mean about making them stick? She brushes a stray lock from her forehead. Souls power bodies and give their tissues life, but only when they're firmly attached. It's separation that leads to the whole spate of soul-related ailments, including the Hollowborn. But if we understand how to reattach souls, we could end Wade One's legacy, maybe even conquer death. She scratches behind her ear. That's the theory anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have all the research I need to put into practice. What exactly do you need? There's a manuscript called Theorems of Pangram. Contains research from Pangram's experiments on detached souls. The Hall of Revealed Mysteries is rumored to have a copy in the Elder Archives. Pangram's work is considered to be one of the more daring animancy texts, not something generally circulated among novices, nor easy to get hold of. I wonder if you might have a peek at it. Theorems could advance my research by leaps and bounds, but Grimdar, the High Archivist, worships Whale, which means she has some paradoxical views on sharing and restricting knowledge. And since she's not exactly a proponent of animancy, she tends to restrict the kinds of information that would be useful to me. I'm sorry to hear that. She sighs. Look at me spilling my troubles. It's kind of you to listen, but I should really get back to my work. Anything else? I'll leave you alone. New questline. Down here we have Hadrat House. Let's quickly check in. Gonna see what this one is about. Oh, that's the Dunrid Row thingy? Seems like it. Ah, there we have the guy that does the soul reading. Let's talk to him. Or her.
How do you do?
Okay, the old man is surrounded by books and scrolls. His wire hair stands nearly on end, and his ears prick up as you approach. You carry whispers. Kate Nua, Gilded Veil. Old voices indeed. How did you know? The Orlan grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. As a cipher, it's my job to know these things. You carry a whiff of ancients. What else can you tell me? His ears twitch downward. Not as much as I would like, unfortunately. My duties for Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dunred Row? It looks as though you could use some help. Curran wags a clawed finger. Not at liberty to discuss my work, unfortunately. Dunred Row, ears only. A civilian would need the confidence of Lady Webb before I could share. Tell me about your skills. I check for soul connections, looking for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things, particularly where people of power and influence are concerned. I'm a cipher. In Airgland Fath, we were once known as Riskowin, Mind Hunters. Nice title, yes, but it wasn't until Animancers began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Now we make some of the best detectives in the world, tracing souls. We can look at a person and see where they have been, or look at a weapon and see who has touched it. His nose twitches as he looks at you. Useful for solving crimes, as you can imagine. Yep, definitely. Okay, so we need to find Lady Webb and get in her confidence so we can help this guy. There sure is a lot of stuff to do. So then, let's move out. Ondra's gift it is. So this is the dock/seaport district, or did I misinterpret? No, that's pretty much it. And there's a lot of stuff to do here. So, yeah, that's gonna have to do it for today. We're already way over time on this episode. I do thank you all for watching. I hope you've had some fun. If you did, consider commenting, liking, or even subscribing. I'm happy for every little bit. You can also follow me on Twitter @_MattLetter for all the news updates. So, again, thank you for watching. That's it from me for this time. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.